Welcome, everybody, here to the Sports Art Network channel, specifically 10 Night Steve's Wrestling Ramble WWE 2017 TLC or TLC 2017 edition. We'll be doing our predictions and previewing the pay-per-view, giving our predictions, our thoughts, and everything in between. Also, some WWE news and notes we'll be talking about the latter half, as we will always start out Raw and SmackDown Live, hearing from the guys. Obviously, I give my thoughts every single week with Raw and SmackDown reviews after the show ends, both at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern times, usually, for both Raw and SmackDown Live. So right after Raw ends and an hour after SmackDown Live ends, because I do a Raw or SmackDown Live review right after the show over on Talking WWE with Jay, where earlier today I did do my predictions over there for TLC. I think they're going to be the same over here, but you never know. They could change. And even if they are different, what I said over there, my predictions there, and they'll stand in that prediction battle. My predictions here stand here as tried and true for this prediction battle for my show. I think everybody watching live, those will be watching otherwise, welcome to like the video, comment, share, and also welcome to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow. When I do get to 200 subscribers, I'm 6 away. As of right now, six subscribers away from 200. When I get to that glorious plateau, I guess, I'll be doing a Q&A, my first ever Q&A. So people are welcome to send in questions in any video from now to that point. When we do get to that point, I will be doing a separate live stream video, stating Q&A is coming up, leave questions there, as other YouTubers do in the Q&A video leading to it, and then obviously the following, then we'll do the actual Q&A, or the answering part of it on the videos. I already do have a couple of questions that were submitted, Lapis Gamer and some others already submitting some questions for that Q&A. Again, it doesn't have to be WWE related. It doesn't even have to be sports related. It could be whatever your heart desires. No limit on questions. As many as, again, your heart desires. Deadline for that, as I stated in the past, in some past videos, is really the end of that video, meaning the end of my Q&A video where I'm answering the questions. And if people are watching live in that video and they have more questions or other questions, they're welcome to leave it there, and I'll answer those right away first, and then go to my handy-dandy notebook and answer the ones already given to me prior and previously. So that video can go as long as it wants, depending on how many questions people want to ask live, let alone before then. So just want to give a heads up. Again, I believe only 6 subscribers away to 200. Many away from 1K. But moving on, again, we're talking WWE and we're talking TLC, the exclusive Raw branded pay-per-view happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, US Bank Stadium, in the arena home of the Minnesota Vikings, also the site of the Super Bowl, and at some point, hopefully, a WrestleMania and Super Bowl, and other things. I think they're even going to have a Final Four in 2020, some at that point. The point being is that's where they're having the pay-per-view. Look forward to, should be a good event. Let's welcome our co-host, and first, let's welcome Kyron Chase. Welcome back to the show. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. I got a lot to talk about. Well, not a lot, but I got some stuff I need to talk about tonight, so I'm just ready to get going.
All right. Mark Rambo, how are you doing?
Man, as you guys know, before everything went live, I was struggling so much. But I'm great right now. Everything's good when you're talking about wrestling and all things wrestling. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing well. I echo what Kyron was saying. Let's just get right into it. But first, before we even get right into the pay-per-view, I'll talk about Raw and SmackDown for you guys to share your thoughts that you maybe have already on your own channels. But first, Mark Rambo, what are your thoughts? Good, bad, ugly, otherwise, anything you would like to say? The floor is yours to talk about Monday Night Raw from this past week.
Well, let's just say the good thing. The Shield is back. I feel like we foreshadowed that a long time ago with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose winning the belts. I mean, at that point, we kind of expected something was going to happen. But then they come out in their original theme with, I guess you could say, their original attire, but instead they have the dog tags with them now. I think it's pretty cool. If I were to, I guess you could say, put my little taste inside the uniform, I would give them a little bandana, I guess you could say, and kind of cover it over their mouths and kind of make it look a little Call of Duty-ish, but that'll never happen. That's just imagination. Yes, it was very good. One thing I do suggest they fix is Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. I feel like at this point they're on a little halt with them. They're not really doing much of anything with them, and this match is going to, I guess you could say, in a sense, be one of those jobber matches for the main pay-per-view coming up. But other than that, it was pretty good. There's nothing much to really complain about. I'm enjoying it. One thing I do say though, Kane. I was a little surprised with Kane coming back. I was really, really, really shocked to see him come back. Didn't really watch it like that because I think I stopped watching Raw right around the time that he came back during the Hell in a Cell match. But other than that, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this week of wrestling. It was good. Everything was great. SmackDown was great. There's nothing much I could say in regards to complaining.
All right, I guess then Kyron Chase, you can talk about Monday Night Raw, and I guess also SmackDown Live. Anything positive, good, bad, ugly?
Let me start with SmackDown since that's going to be quick. I did not watch SmackDown as I tweeted you guys. Opening night of the NBA was happening. I had to watch the Cavs and Celtics. Also, prayers and thoughts go out to Gordon Hayward. That was a gruesome injury.
Absolutely.
I didn't, even though I had SmackDown DVR, I never went back to watch it, and I haven't seen a single highlight of it. So I can't really talk about SmackDown all that much. I will talk about Jinder Mahal challenging Brock Lesnar, but let me just start. You get the Raw. Well, I admit I marked out when the show came out to their old entrance and their old attire, but JD from NY pointed out that it's not exactly that same entrance theme. If you listen closely enough, it was basically Roman's theme, and I'm trying hard not to fall for what they're pulling with the Shield, but it's kind of hard not to. We all know what this is really about. They're just doing this to get Roman over for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and it won't work because if anyone paid attention to Raw, when he was with the Shield, there was cheers, but when he was by himself, there was still boos. So I don't think this is gonna help get Roman over. Kane coming out, I thought was kind of underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. He's 50 years old at this point. I don't really want to see him wrestle anymore. I thought he was trying to go out to be the mayor of Tennessee, was it? I don't get why he would still wrestle. I know it's the 20th anniversary when the monthly debut, but still, it just doesn't make sense. I wish it would have gone to someone else. Raw was okay, but nothing was special about it. I absolutely hated the Finn Balor Bray Wyatt stuff, and I've been hating it for a long time. I will not address that when we get to that match. I will not call that the Demon King versus Sister Abigail. I will be addressing it as the Pumpkin King versus Sister Abigail because I don't know why they gave him that jack-o'-lantern paint. It did not work. SmackDown, once again, I didn't watch, but Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar, who really wants to see that match? It's going to be garbage, and why do it is my question. It doesn't work. It's not going to be a good match. No one cares. And let's be honest, Brock beat Joe in under 10 minutes. Beat Strowman in under 10 minutes. What do you think he's going to do to Jinder Mahal in 3 minutes? Come on now. But that's all I got to say about Raw and SmackDown.
Okay, yeah. In regards to Brock Lesnar, Jinder Mahal, I think kind of put themselves in a corner in that match because if you do, if you don't with Brock Lesnar, do you have Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, squashing the WWE Champion, and the WWE Championship being bigger than the Universal title, both supposed to be looking equal because being the main titles for each brand. Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal trying to make Jinder Mahal more credible and have his title reign more credible as well. So even having Jinder Mahal defeat Brock Lesnar, is that really as believable as we want it to be? But then again, I've been saying that Jinder Mahal having this a title reign longer, and as it lasts longer and longer, whether it goes to WrestleMania or not, either way, making him credible champion as well. And they're really trying to do that. Having him beat Brock Lesnar will do that, but it also depends on how they do that. Because now if WWE's going to go through it and they actually have this match as Survivor Series, Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, I think in the situation that they put themselves in, you have to have Jinder Mahal get the win because you don't want to destroy the momentum that you've been given to Jinder Mahal as a champion. Now, I know some would understand that because you're facing Brock Lesnar, the Beast, who crushed John Cena quickly in his match at SummerSlam. John Cena, Jinder Mahal, so that's understandable. But for how you've been trying to build up Jinder Mahal and how Jinder Mahal has been doing well since he's been WWE champion, take that ball and metaphorically running with it. Having him lose to Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series would not do well for that run, not do well and make sense to me for WWE to even think about doing that, because you put time and effort to building Jinder Mahal up. Or first, you made the decision to, out of nowhere, having him the number one contender. Then he, was seemed like a swerve at the time, and we thought it was just going to be for a month or two. Jinder Mahal wins the championship from Randy Orton at Battleground, do you believe? Or Backlash. At Backlash. And then, as the months have gone since Backlash, since he won the championship, he's kept the title, won the matches, most recently defeating Shinsuke Nakamura to successfully defend the WWE championship. And now they're going to plan to, as of now, have him face the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. We'll be hearing from Lesnar here in the Badger State, in Wisconsin, when they're in Green Bay for Monday Night Raw. And then Jinder Mahal, respectively, when they're in Milwaukee for SmackDown Live the next night. But either way, like I said, I think they're putting him in the corner. I think you have to go Jinder Mahal for the win if you are actually going to go through with it and have the match at Survivor Series, champion versus champion. And you have to have it more than just the Singh brothers, because even with the Singh brothers and the way Jinder Mahal has been winning his matches on SmackDown Live and on pay-per-view events to keep his title, I just think he realized that he has been. I know people have their own opinion about that in its own right, but then to have him just being squashed or losing to Brock Lesnar, I guess, like I said, threefold will not be a smart move, in my opinion, for them to do that. So if you're going to have this match, you pretty much almost have to have Jinder Mahal to get the win. And how do you have Jinder Mahal get the win beyond just the Singh brothers? You have to have somebody else come in and helping, in a way, Jinder Mahal. And maybe in a situation where you're not even helping, the person's just there to get to Brock, because that might be setting up something for the feud for Brock Lesnar and into WrestleMania. So the Survivor Series, the train's already rolling to Royal Rumble, technically to the next pay-per-view, because there is a pay-per-view between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble for the Raw brand and SmackDown Live. But point being is, setting something up there, or whoever it to be, maybe that's the way that Jinder Mahal wins the champion match. But just plain and simple, as I said, you have this match, you're going to have this match, and if you end up actually having the match at Survivor Series, Jinder Mahal pretty much has to win. So I just wanted to, expand upon what I said on Tuesday night during my SmackDown Live review about the situation with Brock and Jinder Mahal as it's now started. I know it was a rumor weeks ago, of this was going to take place, and now there's slowly becoming reality. It actually might happen when we get to Survivor Series between the two. Again, like I said, go to Jinder Mahal, and if you have Jinder Mahal defeating Brock Lesnar, the man who defeated the streak or ended the streak of the Undertaker years ago, makes his championship reign at least me a little bit more credible. And moving forward, then hey, well, who should be the one then to beat Jinder Mahal? And will it maybe be AJ Styles at WrestleMania and get in that moment? And as I said before, if you have Jinder Mahal actually hold the championship all the way to WrestleMania, and it makes his title reign more credible in one end, and it also makes it a bigger moment for whatever said superstar to be the one to defeat Mahal to take the title from him, whether that be AJ Styles or John Cena or whoever it had to be at that point. Maybe even Rusev. That'd be nice, but probably not him, but whoever it had to be. So looking forward to seeing how everything was moving forward. But again, I just wanted to share my thoughts about that before we head into talking about the pay-per-view and predictions and going through the card, as we will here actually right now. Let's do that here. Also, I want to see in the live chat, Boss Gamer Robbie saying what's up. Lapis Gamer saying this makes me wonder what December pay-per-views will be like. It certainly will be interesting. Boss saying I don't want to see Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, and it's going to be AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal. Yeah, as well as time goes. And you still have a long road, or at least it seems like a long road to Survivor Series for SmackDown Live, since their pay-per-view is first in the month of October. So they're having that special, or some, I'm sure they're going to have some special SmackDown show treated like a pay-per-view with title matches, and Mahal Styles will be the main event there for the WWE Championship. But I see Mahal getting the win.
Are you done, Steve?
I'm good now.
Yeah, I love you, bro. But I disagree with almost everything you just said. If this match does happen, while yes, it will be a blow to Mahal and the WWE Championship, I honestly do not care. I expect Lesnar to destroy Jinder Mahal. I don't expect it to be a close match. I don't expect Mahal to win. Don't like you said, Steve. This is a guy who destroyed John Cena, beat Goldberg in under 4 minutes. He broke the streak. He beat Strowman and Joe, and that alone made me upset, especially what they did with Strowman. Do you know how triggered I'm gonna be after what happened with Nakamura if Mahal somehow beat Lesnar? I don't care if it's cleanly or if Brock gets laid out with someone else. I'm not gonna be happy about that. And you thought the rant I had after Mahal beat Nakamura Hell in a Cell was bad. You should see what I'm gonna do if Mahal beats Lesnar. And I don't even like Lesnar. But it just comes to the fact, like I said before, I know you like Jinder Mahal. Like I said before, I'm sick of him. I know respecting him. I know he's giving his best, but I'm just tired of saying finish over and over again with the same brothers helping him. And while his promo on Tuesday wasn't bad, from what I've heard, it wasn't bad and it was different from usual. I'm just sick of the guy, and now they want to put him. Like, I mean, obviously not going to put him over Brock Lesnar. Even I don't think WWE would do that, but they're going to give him a match against Brock Lesnar. When both of them could, I mean, I understand Raw vs. SmackDown. Now, why not do another, 8-man tag, 10-man tag like last year's Survivor Series? Since the brand split, since Survivor Series last year, they barely done any Raw vs. SmackDown, and a Raw vs. SmackDown aspect was what made Survivor Series last year the pay-per-view of the year, and now they're not even really doing much with it this year. And besides Jinder Mahal and Brock Lesnar, a match that no one really wants to see. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
You know, it's crazy. In my opinion, I'd honestly rather have Jinder Mahal champion than Brock Lesnar, because we all know Brock Lesnar is a part-timer. Jinder Mahal is at least there every day. At least we have a champion who is at least partaking in matches, at least being relevant, or at least trying to be relevant, while being WWE champion. I'd rather see my champion every day, knowing that he's, to some people, a horrible champion, than to have a part-timing champion who will only be there for pay-per-views. I feel like that is another reason why I'd be less surprised if Jinder Mahal won. I'd be more irritated if Brock Lesnar won, because I know how Brock Lesnar is as champion. He's only going to be there during pay-per-views. He does not talk. I mean, not to say that Paul Heyman is bad or anything, but
he's the GOAT of the mic. He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT at the mic. But Brock Lesnar, in my opinion, if he's not full-time, he's not a great champion.
I agree. And just like Mahal with the same finish, trust me, I'm tired of Lesnar with the same match. Now you're going to give me either a finish we've seen to death or a match we've seen to death. And like I said before, Suplex City is not interesting anymore. It was fun at first, but now it's just getting to the point where it's ridiculous. And, I think what really drove that home was the match against Strowman. A match that should have been just carnage everywhere. But all we got was Brock kicking out of Strowman's finisher 3 times, and Strowman not getting the kick out of 1 F5, and Kimura locking a few suplexes. That's all we got. And that's when I pretty much said, you know what, I'm through with Brock Lesnar, and it's coming to this. And I never thought I would say this out of my mouth. When he faces Reigns at WrestleMania, I honestly hope Reigns takes the title. Because while I don't want that match either, at least it won't be the same Universal title match over and over again.
Well, here's a question to you both. Who do you want? Because it seems like, well, maybe not from both of you, but, especially from Kyron Chase's point of view, wants title off Mahal ASAP. And in that vein, Kyron, who would you want to take? Do you want AJ Styles to win it here in whatever special show? Because he won't be facing AJ at Survivor Series, which is the next pay-per-view for SmackDown Live. Raw has their pay-per-view, which will be this Sunday, of course, and then we have Survivor Series moving forward. But so, who and when do you see, in your future, that you see Brock or Jinder Mahal losing the title?
I don't know when I see it. Now, who do I want to lose it to? AJ Styles is number 1 on that list, obviously. I would have liked to see Nakamura take it. Who else we on SmackDown? And really, those are the main 2 right now. AJ is not. She's the only believable 2 babyface in the main event with Sammy turning heel. I mean, it'd be cool seeing Kevin get it from him, but we know when they face each other on that Indian tour, Jinder's going to retain. When is he gonna lose it? Is a question that is a rumor, and I really don't want it to be true, but it probably will be. He's supposed to lose to John Cena at WrestleMania. Now, don't get it twisted. I would love to see John Cena get 17th world title, especially at WrestleMania, just to see the look on everyone's faces. And I know exactly who I'm talking about when I say that. But even I don't want that match because I feel like Cena getting the 17th world title on a grand stage, he knows deserving moment. I just want it to be in a better match than from another Jinder Mahal. Like we wanted from AJ at Royal Rumble. Great match, great opponent to win it from. It felt big. If he faces Mahal, it's just not gonna feel like it's big. So who do I see him lose to? It'll probably be seen at WrestleMania, but I would like it to be AJ Styles, ASAP.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people were hoping for Shinsuke Nakamura ASAP, like when they were facing each other last pay-per-view, and that wasn't the case. Again, him bringing these wins against his fan favorites is a point to make his championship stronger and more credible, beating these top faces. And now AJ Styles being really the last one left there on SmackDown Live to face. That is a face. And incredible too, didn't defeat him and build the strength of his championship reign even more. Makes sense to me and probably will be happening whenever they do have that title match between now and Survivor Series. Back to the live chat. Lapis Gamer is saying, man, Mahal being WWE champion was a mistake. WWE needs to learn give Tyler Breeze the title and it can be more relevant. I don't know about that, but Lapis Gamer saying to me, Raw won't be good until we get justice with a new Universal Champion. And Boss here with kind of a joke, R.I.P. to Jinder Mahal. He's passed away at Survivor Series, caused death, Brock Lesnar. So it's certainly going to be interesting, to say the least, when we do get Survivor Series. I mean, you have that one-on-one match, champion versus champion. But no, I'm going for Mahal for the win, however he wins. All right, let's head into TLC. Well, first match we'll predict here from the kickoff show. Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. Again, kickoff show, we have Sasha Banks on there. But Sasha Banks facing Alicia Fox one-on-one. So who do you guys have in winning this one? First, we'll go with Kyron Chase.
Sasha. That's who I'm picking. I don't feel any reason why Alicia should win this match. So, yeah, I'm picking Sasha.
Mark?
You guys know how I feel about Sasha. That's all I should say.
Yeah, I know.
All I should say.
And for me, just because it seems like this is just what they're gonna have for Sasha to do for the time being until they set up things for her and Bayley probably for Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever that to be decided. I mean, heck, you have the Asuka. Then of course, there with the title picture, Sasha can still get back in there. Technically, you can really throw anybody back in title pictures because you can have as they have in the past, multi-women's superstar title matches. So, anytime, even in this case. But for now, having this feud with Alicia Fox, doing something, being on the show, unfortunately, this one being on the pre-show, and in that vein, and in that thinking, and the fact that Sasha Banks already had Alicia tap out, and I thought on Raw when she won there, I thought, okay, this was just whatever, something to have on the show, extra women's match, nothing will be moving on, nothing would become of it moving forward because it really shouldn't. And then Alicia Fox doesn't even have the match. Now we're going to have the match at TLC in the pre-show. Point being is I'm going with Alicia Fox for my prediction. And have her get the win here just to start up the feud. Because if you have Sasha Banks win, then what was the freaking point having the match the pay-per-view? Pre-show or otherwise. So that would just be dumb to me. So, I mean, obviously Sasha Banks would deserve to win because she's Sasha Banks. But just if she does win, as much as that makes sense, obviously, to me, in a way, it doesn't make sense because why then the heck do you have this match? You already had that finish happening on Raw. Let's just say if that same thing happens at TLC, you had that already happen on Raw. Why the heck do we need to have it continue at a pay-per-view, let alone on the pay-per-view on the pre-show? I mean, heck, if you wanted them to have another match, do it the next week on Monday Night Raw after the event. Now then, I'm the one that always talks about having more than one women's match on the pay-per-view, but it's one you already had the second one, and that being Asuka and Emma. And Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox, if you want someone swerving and buzz in a different way, you have Alicia Fox get the win here because Emma is not going to defeat Asuka. So Alicia Fox getting the win here because I don't see McKinney either. So my prediction is Alicia Fox for the kickoff match in there right then and there. The next one, moving forward, and for those that are watching live or even otherwise, welcome to share your predictions for the pay-per-view. If you're watching live, of course, you can give your predictions while we go through the card. Of course, next one up, Cruiserweight Division Tag Team match. Cedric Alexander and Rick Swann versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. So you guys have in this Cruiserweight Tag Team match, and we'll start over there with Mark Rambo.
You know, guys, this is what I call a buffer match. It's no legitimate point to it. There's no legitimate storyline to it. It's just the simple fact that there's a tag team match. Trying to create some TV time for the Cruiserweight division, the very, very, very desperate Cruiserweight division. Well, not in this case, I'm sorry, because recently they haven't been doing too bad. Outside of the fact that Neville is rumored to have left WWE, that is a huge, 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 huge blow for the Cruiserweight division if that's true. But, you know, if it comes to predictions on seeing who's winning, why not? I'm going to go with Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. Just really, they're probably, out of those two, compared to the other two, the more popular outside of Jack Gallagher. It's nothing much to this match that I'm looking forward to. So I'm just going to go with Rich and Cedric taking the dub.
All right, Aaron?
Gallagher, I'm picking Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. I really don't care about this match. It's like Mark says, buffer. It's really the definition of filler. This match is only on the card to help pad the time out and give some more people some more time. Hopefully, it's a good match, but they'll probably only give like 3 to 5 minutes.
All right, and for me, I'm going to go with Gentleman Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick for the win. Having the heels get the win there. No real true reason there, but just makes sense, especially if you always get to have the heel team get the win first and then move forward and have the faces then triumphant. Overall, next match, moving forward, we'll stay in the Cruiserweight division because why not? It's a Cruiserweight title match. Champion Kalisto against Enzo Amore. What do you guys have winning in this one? We'll start again with Mark.
It should be Enzo. Actually, wow, this is surprisingly a difficult question. You know what? Why not? I'm going to go with Enzo. Enzo Amore should win it back. This will not be the last time that they go against each other, but I feel like in this case, maybe newer faces will come. Maybe we'll have what's his name? Area Davaria. I don't know how to say his name. Mustafa Ali. Maybe they'll introduce some new characters because, Enzo has been talking, just going in. Maybe this is the time that the Cruiserweight division gets the time on the TV that they need after this pay-per-view. I'm going to go with Enzo. I feel like Enzo, in my opinion, isn't doing so bad as a champion.
All right, Aaron?
I'm picking Enzo to win as well because I think they only gave it to Kalisto just to pop a rating, just for a surprise. It was Eddie Guerrero's birthday, so they, I guess, have a luchador win it. But Enzo, as much as we all hated it when he won the title, I Steve, you went on a rant about it. I tweeted about the Cruiserweight division being dead. He made the Cruiserweight division interesting. He was entertaining, and as a heel, I actually like Enzo. With that being said, yeah, I'm picking him. Now, I just want to talk about the show in general, a TLC. I think this is about a good time to talk about it. For a TLC pay-per-view, why is there only a TLC match? There's no ladder match, there's no chairs match, there's no tables match. This match, I'd have made a ladder match. Now, I know, with Neville walking out and everything like that, this might have been different. But this should at least been a chairs or a ladder match or something to make it more interesting. But making a one-on-one match I don't think it's going to be good. I have Enzo winning. Then I think he's going to move into a feud with Mustafa Ali, because he blamed him for losing the title. So I'm picking Enzo.
All right, and I like the idea of Mustafa Ali. I actually would enjoy that for a Cruiserweight title feud there for a Raw, and also obviously 205 Live. Also to respond to what we were talking about with TLC pay-per-view, I have my weird feeling, funny feelings I have, and this funny feeling is that on the pre-show, during their talking, which usually I have muted, but whatever. Some of the matches may turn into ladder matches, chair matches at that point, which I guess is all right. You have to tune into the pre-show to find out things, just as much as actually building up to the show. I mean, grand idea there. If you're going to have something that's going to be a chairs match or a ladder match, good to be promoted and already build it as that heading into the pay-per-view, and it being said in the pre-show, which was that would get. But I have a feeling hopefully that will be the case, because if not, then yeah, we'll only have one TLC match. Now, the good side of that is having one gimmick match in this pay-per-view event is then that match probably will deliver, and that's because it is the only TLC match or type of match there in that namesake of the pay-per-view. So then that main event just going to be better even tenfold because of that fact, and it's going to be the only one. So it has to deliver, and I'm sure it will. But as in for this title match, I'm going for Enzo Amore to get the win and become the new cruiserweight champion. Go from there. I guess we can get this one out of the way. I assume everybody's going to be equal here. With Asuka versus Emma, I do assume that everybody here is going with Asuka.
Asuka's gonna kill you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what is rolling through Emma's mind right now, because she should be terrified. There's no way, no possible way Asuka is going to lose to Emma if she went undefeated in NXT.
Mark, yes, there is. Asuka's gonna win, but don't say that. Don't forget Bobby Roode went undefeated in NXT till he lost the title, and then SmackDown lost via roll up. Vince is Mr. Big Bucky Beaver Teeth Kevin Dunn's that back there thinking of ways how they're gonna ruin Asuka, because they're going to. They always do this to NXT graduates. People that come from NXT were big down there. That you need to humble them on the main roster, and what's coming for Asuka next. Now I am picking Asuka to win Sunday. My question is this: is it going to be a squash or a competitive match?
It's going to be right in between. Watch.
Because I think this, if given the time, this could be the match of the night. Go back to NXT TakeOver London and watch the match these two women had. It was an amazing match. I'm picking Asuka, but I want you to date back to this show when I say WWE's going to ruin her. Date back to the TLC 2017 prediction. Quote, Kyron Chase said, WWE, you know what, I'll give them 5 months, they'll ruin Asuka.
Oh, my God. Please don't say that.
I don't want it to happen, bro, but you know it's going to.
That will hurt.
Bro, for that actually to happen, then first thing to do is have her lose to Emma. If that's where they're gonna go, but hopefully that's not the case. We all predict Asuka to win, but you never know. It's the I guess intriguing part of everything, especially in this specific match and storyline and situation. Would you have Asuka actually lose off the gate, whether to humble her, whatever reason they'd have backstage, or just to rib her because WWE can be trying to be funny that way, or at least bookers in the back. But either way, hopefully Asuka does get the win, so we're all going there. Next one, the Demon versus Sister Abigail, or what has been Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. I'm just gonna give my prediction. I'm going with Bray or Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt, whatever. I'm finally getting a win, continue this feud, then moving forward to Survivor Series and otherwise. Who do you guys have here in this matchup, Mark?
This match is so weird to me. I feel like this is another one of those buffer matches. It's unfortunate. It really is, because Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor are well-deserving main event caliber superstars, in my opinion. The thing is, they're not being used in that way. I don't know why. It's like you bring in Finn Balor, right? Or whatever you want to call him, depending on how long you've been watching him. And you then take him to NXT, and he's just amazing in NXT. Demon King, Finn Balor, just a cool Balor Club guy. And then you go to the main roster, and he gets hurt. I'm just giving you a little timeline and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
After he gets hurt, it feels like he never really got back to where he was. I don't know, maybe they just forgot about him. Doesn't look the same. I mean, you're putting him in these matches with no actual build up. It's whatever for me. And Sister Abigail, what the hell? Come on. What the hell? It's just Bray Wyatt. Like that's just very highly disappointing in my opinion. But oh well. I got Bray. I mean I got Finn winning this. If you're gonna make Finn lose, make it good.
All right, Kyron.
I am not interested in the feud whatsoever.
Me either.
We've had 2 pay-per-view matches, both won by Balor, one as the Demon, the other not. Neither match was mind-blowing. This feud up till TLC has been stupid. The Sister Abigail stuff I thought was dumb. And seeing Finn as the Pumpkin King on Monday was even stupider. What else? Please don't have Bray Wyatt dressed up in drag this Sunday. That's all I ask. Just spare me that. I'm picking the Pumpkin King to win.
All right.
Pumpkin King.
Because I told you I was going to keep saying it. Because one, WWE doesn't like Bray Wyatt. 2, if they're going to do Finn versus Lesnar at Royal Rumble, they might as well give Finn some momentum. And he might as well, and they're going to just throw Wyatt out there, Sister Abigail, whatever you want to say. All I ask is don't put Bray Wyatt in drag.
Yeah, well, here's a question. Does anybody actually think that Sister Abigail actually will be a female actually portraying a Sister Abigail coming from the shadows or whatever during the match to help Bray Wyatt? Because this is what makes it even stranger. You're having the Demon versus Sister Abigail, as it's promoted on WWE.com, as it's been said. That's the match. It's not Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. It's not even Demon King Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. It's Sister Abigail. It's the Demon versus Sister Abigail. So if they're actually, which I don't know if this is going to be the case, but actually having women female superstar playing or actually being Sister Abigail for the storyline, then does that actually mean she's gonna wrestle Finn Balor? Like, I don't think so. That's not going to be the case. This isn't a different promotion. This is WWE, so that's not going to be happening. So then, if that's the case, and this is all the possession of Sister Abigail possessing Bray Wyatt, yeah, hopefully he doesn't dress up in drag. But the question to you guys both: do you think WWE is actually going to have a female talent be a Sister Abigail, or will it just continue being as like a possession thing and being this weird hokey thing that it has been so far? Any thoughts, anyone?
Honestly, Steve, I really do not care. It'll probably Bray Wyatt. I don't see Finn wrestling a female. I mean, you want to make Finn look even dumber? Go ahead. But like I said, I really don't know, and I really don't care.
Mark?
I agree with Kyron 100%. I honestly do. It's nothing much to it. I mean, what is there to say? There's nothing much to it.
I don't know. I just wanted to see if you guys thought that maybe, because I know I've been hearing different names thrown out there that would be the Sister Abigail. One being Paige, because she has to return at some point here shortly. But beyond that, I just wanted to see what you guys thought if that would, or even have possibility of being the case. And again, I'm not saying that even if there was this, she would actually wrestle Finn. That would just look weird, stupid, and puzzling the whole time. That can't actually happen. It's been promoted, but I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, because I'm hoping that to be the case. Because this whole possession thing or break just of the drag and all that other stuff just is too corny for me and stupid. I mean, the feud in itself I haven't really enjoyed. You guys already know my opinion on Bray Wyatt overall. Now WWE hasn't used him properly. But also, his promos have been gotten old, stale to me, and stuff like that. I try to do something different, and there's something different just is messing me up a little bit because it's not really making sense at all. So part of me actually would want a female talent to be a Sister Abigail. Not saying that person to wrestle, but I'm just saying in general, being part of this storyline and situation. For me, at least, this would be more beneficial for that to be the case than the way that has been going. So I'm actually hoping that to be the case. Whether it's Paige or somebody else, I don't really care. I'd rather want that than how it's been portrayed so far. An actual person being Sister Abigail, not Bray Wyatt and trying to be all creepy in this way of, since it is Halloween, it'll be the time to do it. That's why they're doing it here in this October pay-per-view. It is TLC. Then again, that's why he, as Karen calls him now, Pumpkin King. That was just for what this month it'll be in here in October, and the pay-per-view being in October being on Sunday. But either way, it's certainly going to be interesting, I guess, in some way, seeing how this whole thing plays out. Not interesting in the match, not interesting in the feud because I've had enough of it in these end. But in just how things are going to be treated, how they're actually going to make this whole Sister Abigail thing work, and how everything's going to be booked for it moving forward. But moving on to a match I'm actually looking forward to, and that's the Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss facing Mickie James. Again, I'll go first with Alexa Bliss to win. I kind of see this as a simple one to book, or not to book, but to predict. I don't see Mickie James, and with Asuka coming, rank going to be probably defeating Emma, and getting a title shot sooner rather than later. Then again, we have the whole also situation on Raw, Nia Jackson leaving for whatever reason. But in regards to Mickie James, I don't see her getting the win here. I do see Alexa Bliss retaining a Raw Women's Championship, but what do you guys say? Who do you guys have in winning this title match? Mark?
I would love to see Mickie James win, but not right now. Not yet. That'd be too sudden. I think it's gonna happen soon. The title change is definitely gonna happen soon. But I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss. Mickie James, what she's been doing, I think it's been working. I'm not gonna lie to you. But just her as a champion as of right now wouldn't draw out much of anything. I feel like Alexa Bliss is gonna lose, but just I don't know who exactly she's gonna lose to yet. But for this match, I got Alexa.
Tyron?
This is one of those matches where it's hard. Is it heart over head or head over heart? My head says Alexa Bliss is going to win, which is why I'm picking Alexa Bliss. But my heart says Mickie James. This is, like I said, I tweeted about this on Monday. This is not me being blinded by nostalgia. I want Mickie to hold up the title one more time, and I would love to see her win this Sunday. For one, I think it's a great payoff to Alexa, calling her an old lady. And like I said before, she's not old. She's 38. That's number one. And two, if she's old and she looks way too fine for old, she way too fine for an old lady.
Facts.
But yeah, I would love to see Mickie. I would love to see Mickie win. After Trish and Lita retire, she's my favorite female wrestler. But I'm being realistic. Alexa Bliss is going to probably retain the title. So I want Mickie to win, but I think Alexa's going to win.
All right, and hey, running to the main event, the 5-on-3 handicap match, TLC match, The Shield versus Braun Strowman, The Miz, Kane, Cesaro, and Sheamus. Again, I'll go first. I'm going with The Shield. They can put 10 people against them, put the whole dang Raw roster, heel and faces, to face The Shield, and The Shield will win because it's their first match, and they kind of have to win because it would be really dumb for them not to. It's plain and simple as that. That's all I need to say about it. What do you guys say? Who do you have winning? And really, who do you have taking the pinfall? Because for me, I have Kane taking the pinfall, and that really being the only, at least the main reason right now why they had him in this or added him to this match to take the fall. So my prediction in that way is Ambrose to pin Kane. Ambrose figure the win for the Shield. So that's how I see it. But Kyron Chase, who do you have winning this main event and why? Yeah.
Honestly, Steve, I agree with almost everything you just said. I think the Shield are going to win. Really, putting 5 guys against them is going to make the other 5 look retarded because if 5-on-3 you couldn't beat them, that's just dumb. I think if you look at it, the 5 guys should win because it protects them more. It doesn't really do damage to the Shield because they lost the handicap match. But if I'm being realistic, obviously the Shield's going to win. Roman's going to get the pinfall, and it's going to be over Kane. Why Roman? Because their objective and goal is to make Roman look strong. And like I said, once the Shield break up and go do their own thing, you're gonna show it fail because when Roman's by himself, he's still getting booed. So it's not gonna work. I think it'll be a good match. I wish someone other than Kane was in it, but it'll probably still be a great match. But I'm picking the Shield. I'm picking Roman to get the pinfall over Kane after Spear.
Mark Rambo.
My dude, this should not even be a question. The Shield is gonna win. The Shield is going to be together for a pretty decent amount of time. And pretty much what Kyron said. It's only in the benefit of Roman because Roman was getting booed out of the Air Arena every time. He could have been going against the Hill and he was still booed. Like, it's just the fact that people don't like Roman Reigns. This was a move to save Roman Reigns, and I guess in a business aspect for Vince McMahon's sake, to get some more money. I mean, everybody loves the Shield. That is going to be one of the only reasons why the Shield got back together is because of Roman Reigns. People don't like that man. Who doesn't understand that? Vince McMahon himself. That's why he pushed Roman so hard. People did not want to see that man. But let's just see what happens. I think I'm gonna go with Kyron again in this one. I think Kane is gonna be the one who gets pinned, either Kane or The Miz. But the person who's gonna pin either one of those two is definitely going to be Roman Reigns.
All right. No, I was just gonna say, they're probably, hopefully, they would have the Shield still together all the way up to WrestleMania, because they leave or try to have the fans leave home happy. You're gonna probably be the main event. Probably will be Lesnar Reigns for the Universal Championship. And you have Reigns winning the title. It's better to have him with the Shield and him celebrating that way, try to get some cheers, than him being on his own and Shield already breaking up. Short-lived reunion, I guess, and going that way. So I think it would make better sense to have the Shield stay together for that long, for that time period, all the way to WrestleMania, if not maybe a little bit longer, and then bring them up however they want to bring them up from there. I'll go here to the live chat. Boss Gamer giving his predictions for the show, going with Sasha Banks, going with Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, going with Kalisto to retain, going with Asuka to beat Emma, going with Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail to defeat Finn Balor as Pumpkin Demon, as he put it too. Mickey James to beat Alexa Bliss because he is sick of Alexa Bliss.
Pumpkin Demon.
And he's going with the Shield, getting the win. I asked him why he's sick of Bliss. And he simply said she just keeps winning. So, whining. No, she keeps whining and winning either way. And then the Shield needs a fourth member to win this one. No, I don't think they do. WWE wants to show the dominance. And that's why I think it's actually going to be different than having Roman Reigns get the pin and having Dean Ambrose getting it, or even Seth Rollins. And so you get up there and having it truly be the team win and them defeating 5 other guys. And then seeing how things go from there. But that's pretty much does it for TLC and our predictions there. These notes pretty much we've kind of talked about dispersely while going through the pay-per-view about Neville, Nia Jax, even Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, and JoJo have been out for a little bit. I know some sites are running with it all having to do with creative, but for me, it's 3 separate situations, 3 separate stories of things of what's going on. Neville's is with creative and the issue there and other reasonings backstage. Nia Jax is just to take time off and recuperate. As for Bray Wyatt, JoJo, and Bo Dallas, they constantly got sick, and they're just out of action due to that. And Bray Wyatt, we assume he's going to be healed up and able to go for Sunday's match, hopefully. And maybe even Bo Dallas, because he might have a run-in trying to help Team Miz, as I call it, to win there in the main event against the Shield. So that's 3 separate stories, 3 separate things, not all having to do with the same thing as we were saying. I know over some sites with the headline of, many plethora of superstars that's going to be leaving WWE or have and this and that, but it's not the case. At least in these 3 situations, they're all 3 different, having to do with different things. But I know we kind of talked about it throughout the episode, but just here specifically, do you guys have any thoughts dealing with either of the stories? Neville and his quote-unquote could be departure, Nia Jax and being granted leave of absence, or with the Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt, JoJo being sick. Cameron?
First off, I hope Bo, JoJo, and Bray Wyatt all fit to get better. I never want to hear anyone being sick. With Neville leaving, what more is there to say? He didn't like what they were having him do, and he wanted to leave. I personally would wish he hadn't walked out just because of creative booking, but he had been wanting to leave from what I've heard since January. So when his heel turn really started to pick up steam. And with Nia, it's kind of disappointing because she was starting to get a little bit better. I've heard, Alexa, I heard Alexa spoke up on it, and her being Nia's best friend, she would know, and she says, quote, whatever she's going through, I wouldn't necessarily call it a leave of absence. She's taking some time off because of our schedule is very grueling. It's very, very demanding. There are times where you are run down and your body can't do it anymore, and you get sick, or you get injured from it and you get tired. Um, so Alexa's basically saying that Nia is just take some time off to let her body heal. But I'm taking that more serious than anything else because like I said, with her being Nia's best friend, she would know that. I've heard other stories of her wanting to try going with modeling and doing some other and acting, with her cousin being a Rock. But I'm gonna take what Alexa Bliss said first over any other report, unless Nia comes out and says why she's leaving.
All right, Mark.
When it comes to Nia Jax, I completely understand. If that's the case, that grueling schedule, from what I hear, it is what she said it is. It's pretty grueling. It's pretty bad. There's not a lot of times where you get to rest and relax. And I get it. If you want to take a leave, or absence, or what is it, leave of absence, something like that. As a human being, I completely understand. As a wrestler, because I'm not a wrestler, but I know from what I heard, it is really that rough. When it comes to Neville, I'm pretty surprised. I felt like he, as a heel, was really, really, really good. I didn't know he wanted to leave since January. That's something I had no idea about. But the thing is, I guess you could say after him losing the belt, what was next? Because he was like literally the face of the cruiserweights. Literally, I mean, what's next now?
King.
I don't even know what you could say. Like that's going to take a toll on the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, I agree. It's certainly, well, the way they move forward, like I said, if Enzo would win the title back and having a few of Mustafa Ali and others, superstars there, or all of them in the cruiserweight division stepping up and being Big Ten players to be able to fill the role of one superstar, being Neville, that's kind of how it's, to me, it has to be. The greatness of Neville was how good he was. And it's crazy to think that most fans, like Mark and others, are saying how much it sucks to lose Neville, not just in the cruiserweight division, but in WWE, when some of the same fans, and I mean the other ones, before then, before he joined the cruiserweight division, were wanting him off their TVs and released. How times telling that actually gives props to WWE creative and booking of Neville and how he was king of cruiserweight and that's that way, and had mentioned that way, and won a way of being that, and and doing very well as the cruiserweight champion for as long as he was, and even with other superstars getting short title reigns and being shocking wins and this and that, Neville still being the number one cruiserweight in the cruiserweight division. Maybe he's sick and tired of being controlling part of the cruiserweight division and wanting to be back on the main roster and go from there to that singles career. But either way, it is a big loss for the cruiserweight division, losing Neville, and even overall in WWE because he had good matches for Neville and with Neville and the main roster, even for IC titles or US titles, depending on if you would have gone to SmackDown at some point, and from there. So it's unfortunate, but I think if the cruiserweight division, they do have credible superstars, good superstars, Kalisto being one of them, and even Jack Gallagher has been impressing me lately as well. Certainly see how the division steps up, because I think it's going to be next man up mentality. Just like how things are going here in Green Bay for the Packers, next man up after Aaron Rodgers got knocked out, is out for the season. Same, going here in a different way for the cruiserweight division with Neville walking on. Probably here soon we getting that breaking news of being released. I think right now we're just trying to come to terms or talk between Neville and WWE. I assume are happening, then to get wording right and everything for when it is to be announced by both parties that a release has happened, so they have their ducks in a row, both sides, of explanation, or at least what they tell the press and otherwise of what was all going on. But beyond that, not too much else, at least in news-wise. Not as much else news-wise, but thanks everybody watching live or archived. I thank Boss Gamer, also Lapis, or Boss Gamer Bro, Lapis Gamer, and there was another one here, Renee, for stopping by. Tom Phillips, I was missing too. Michael Cole was the announcer on SmackDown Live. I haven't really heard any rumors or news on Tom Phillips while he wasn't there. He's, I don't know, scheduling issues, whatever random general thing going on with Tom Phillips. But beyond that, not too much else to report. And looking forward to seeing how the pay-per-view goes on Sunday. It should be a good one. So before we leave, as always, as we do, those that are here in the Hangout, put themselves over. Let people know where they can find them on Twitter and otherwise. So we'll start with Kyron.
Follow me on my Twitter, /BroKyron, the S and the K capitalized. Follow me on my Instagram, /_Kyron. My DeviantArt and Tumblr, Kyron Chase. My YouTube channel is Kyron Chase with the K and C capitalized. On my channel, I talk about wrestling, obviously, Sonic the Hedgehog, and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Mark Rambo.
And you guys can, of course, subscribe to my channel if you guys aren't familiar with it. It is FMLG Mark Rambo. Very, very simple. My Twitter is Marcus Rambo. The M, the I, and the R are all uppercase. My Instagram is Live Like Ram. If you guys are still interested in Instagram, and hell, my Snapchat is in my video. Hey, it's actually in my channel. So go click my channel and go click on my social media links, and I'm pretty sure it's there. If you guys want to talk on Snap.
And for me, follow me on Twitter at Army_Strong_06, or for the podcast at WWE_podcast. I will subscribe here to this Celebrities channel. I do have a second channel that I did create. Start trying to have. I just did a video earlier this week dealing with Star versus the Force of Evil. As in 2 weeks, it does return to continue season 3. As I'm sure Kyron Chase himself is continuing his homework assignment of watching or catching up. And doing that. But beyond that, that's my most recent video there. Again, Animated Awesomeness is the name of the new channel, as well as it sounds. So Animated Awesomeness, and over here at Sports Talk Network. I'll try to grow 2 channels at once. So certainly doing well so far. Thank you to everybody watching live and those of you watching archive. Thanks to those that interacted in the live chat during the rest of your evening. I will be back as always. I'll be back on Sunday. Even before Monday, I'll be back on Sunday night with my usual quick review of the pay-per-view for this time TLC. So those that want to join the Google Hangout and want to join live, welcome to join me then. It'll be at 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, or whenever the pay-per-view ends. As the pay-per-view for WWE always just go over the 10 o'clock hours time. So hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. And as always, take care.
Peace out.
Bye.